Just as Jerusalem is the great city of the Bible, so Zarahemla is the great city of the Book of Mormon. Zarahemla is an ancient city that has exact points in time and space. Before the founding of Nauvoo, there were many members in 1838 who were making their way east across the frozen bottomlands of Missouri. Some members became the first buyers of land in the newly formed territory of Iowa. These new lands needed a new name. This would be the first time that any place would be given a name that came from the Book of Mormon. In section 135, God told the prophet Joseph, "Let them build up a city unto my name upon the land opposite the city of Nauvoo, and let the name of Zarahemla be named upon it." Since that day, many believed that God identified the place for the great city in the Book of Mormon. There is new evidence concerning the location of Zarahemla that confirms this belief. The original details from Alma chapter 2 are essential. In that chapter, Alma gave his first-hand account of the Battle of Zarahemla, 87 BC. The new details for the terrain of the story come from Robert E. Lee's September 1837 survey of the Des Moines Rapids. The joining together of story and place is important for the foundation of a truthful account. Truth only becomes stronger when events are brought together with actual place and time. The analysis has three sources. First, there is the text that Alma wrote about a battle that occurred in the Western Hemisphere 2,107 years ago. Alma gives more information about the Battle of Zarahemla than we have for any other battle in ancient America. Alma gives us an account of forces, movements, places, and strategies for a battle that took place in a small area of 8 miles by 8 miles and in a tight framework of 48 hours. The river Sidon plays an important part in the details of the battle. Armies crossed a large river, and they fought on the east and west banks of that large river. Alma gives a terrain for the movement of armies. The battle starts in the morning on the hill, Amnihu. By the afternoon of the first day, the armies came off the hill and fought in the valley of Gideon. By nightfall, Alma's army pitched tents on the east bank of the river Sidon, at a place where the valley of Gideon ends. Now, the purpose of this video is to show how Robert E. Lee's 1837 survey connects to the terrain of Alma's account for the first day of the Battle of Zarahemla. The Louisiana Purchase had 530 million acres. This was the largest land purchase in the history of the world. Robert E. Lee's 1837 Des Moines Rapids survey was by far the best survey ever made of the land that involved the Louisiana Purchase. His survey took more than 100 men working 3 years to finish. The survey was very accurate, with thousands of details concerning the Mississippi's river depths in the rapids. The purpose of Lee's survey was to determine if there was a suitable channel that boats could navigate on the Mississippi River. The survey measured thousands of soundings over the entire surface of the rapids. The river's width at the rapids averaged 5,200 feet. The elevation of land surface fell 22 feet over 11 miles of rolling waters. The rapids had a total surface area of about 7,000 acres. This was a big project that required the careful attention of one of the United States' best officers. Robert E. Lee spent as much time surveying the Des Moines Rapids as he would later in his life spend leading the Army of Northern Virginia. The original survey has a place of honor in the United States National Archives. The details of the full survey are available on the Library of Congress's website. A careful examination of the survey shows that there is one place where it would have been possible to walk 5,200 feet across the Mississippi River. A closer examination of the survey shows that from the hill Amnihu it is possible for large armies to fight and to walk in the same day 5 miles to the spot where the valley of Gideon ends on the west bank of the river Sidon. There is no other place in the world where the details of the Battle of Zarahemla so perfectly align with the details of the terrain from Hill Amnihu to the valley of Gideon, and from there to the crossing of the river Sidon. With high confidence we can walk this very same route and see as many as 100 mounds and earthworks that are 2,000 years old. By comparing and analyzing the text of Alma chapter 2 to the lay of the land of a modern-day map and to the water depths from the 1837 survey of Robert E. Lee, it becomes clear that the city of Zarahemla 2,000 years ago was in the very spot that God revealed to Joseph Smith 176 years ago. Let's mark this spot where Alma's army marched across the river Sidon. This spot is now another spot for fixing the geography of the Book of Mormon to its original setting. For 200 years, anyone who was interested could find the location of the hill Cumorah by reading the accounts that Moroni gave to Joseph Smith. Now we can put another pin on the map. With 2 pins on the map, it will become easy to fill in the puzzle. Let's take the tools of modern science to fill in the blanks. We can use magnetic surveys to locate ancient fires. The city of Zarahemla had tens of thousands of fires. When we find a high frequency of fire pits in the ground, we will know that we are over the streets of Zarahemla. Let's use the incredible tools that are available for underwater research. Every ancient warrior had at least 40 pounds of armor and weapons. Many of these people dropped some of these things in the water as they walked 5,200 feet across the rapids of the river Sidon. There are the earthworks and burial mounds on the hill Amnihu and in the valley of Gideon. Let's revisit these sites to map their exact positions. Is it not marvelous that Joseph Smith's burial place is at a place where ancient people living more than 2,000 years ago are buried? God has preserved these places as a means of giving testimony for the Book of Mormon. With these spots now on a modern map, we can begin to identify the locations of 500 places that are mentioned in the Book of Mormon.